You scroll down. Reach out and know what is happening. Belong to your liaison group of your country. Just like you have to belong to your de facto state groups on Telegram. The official group by the government is on Telegram. So if you wish to know a de facto group and to be there, you have to go through Telegram. Install Telegram on your phone. If you're in diaspora, you're in the homeland, it is important you know your state groups. Know what is happening because you are not going to die in diaspora. When we restore Biafra, you will go home. So while you are in diaspora now, locate your state de facto. Enter there, remain with them, know what is happening, know when they have town hall meeting. Attend and know the discussions that follows. If you have your ideas and contributions, you can give to them. You can as well partake in the fundraising that they do to represent the state. Yes, and take note that you make contributions in your state de facto to the fundraising that is done there should not in any way affect your contribution that you do in your country of residence, in your licensed country of residence, where we come out and be calling your names from countries and countries. That should not in any way hinder or affect what you do in your de facto state and your contributions. But it is very, very important that you go and know your representatives and know your state and attend meetings and know what is happening. Be part of the planning so that you know how far your state is growing and what you guys are bringing on the table. This is how a government is built. It is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. It's not the one that only those in the homeland de facto will sit down and decide everything on their own. They are the administrators, good and fine, but you have to also be there to know what they are discussing, what they have on the table for you as the citizen, because you are part and parcel of that very state. So go and locate your state. Don't only sit back and wait and leave the job for them alone. They need your help. Yes. The de facto administrators need your helps in some ways. You may be of help to them logistically, you may be of help to them financially, you may be of help to them in one way or another. Yes. It's just like the left hand is rubbing the right hand, and the back hand is what will wash the inside of the hand. Now your network is disturbing you, so I'll bring you down and I bring you up again. So Biafrans, locate your state de facto, locate your country, Biafra license, and be active in your contributions because everything is very, very necessary. So we say that IPOB has a government, and that government is the BRGIE. Some people will say, I am not IPOB. Don't make that mistake. Oh. Yes, that is the idea or what one Nigeria did so that you would tend to say, oh, I am not IPOB because IPOB Nigeria, the criminals, have destroyed the name and they use it for money. No, use it for money, do what they are doing. We are still IPOB. What does IPOB mean? IPOB means the indigenous people of Biafra. You cannot take that from anybody. Can you go and meet the Russians and say you are not a Russian? Can you tell a Russian person you are not the indigenous person of Russia? Or can you tell a Fulani man that you are not the indigenous person of Fulani extract? So we are IPOBs, yes. We are all IPOBs. You see those idiotic fools that stood and said the governors of the East prescribe IPOB and every activities of IPOB. We have declared them terrorists. They are all IPOBs. That is one thing they made a mistake of. You say you are prescribing your children, of which you are part and parcel of them. Who gave birth to them? Who gave birth to them? Are you not the IPOB yourself? Okay. So at times when you listen to their stupidity, you ask, what did Fulani do to their brain cells? Because Fulani has damaged the brain cells of these people to the point that they can no longer reason properly. So, we tell you the way it is. Ezioku Bondo. We don't want to be politically correct. We have to tell you raw and clear. So, IPOB has a government, and that government is the Biafra Republic government in exile, the de facto government in the homeland, headed and ably in charge and supervised by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, Maazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. So when you see them coming up with all sort of nonsense, just laugh at them. So the message here is that Igbo brothers and sisters, Akwa cross brothers and sisters that comprises of all the newly created states of those regions, the Igodomigodos from the Edo part, the Urhobo Ishekiri where we have from the Bayelsa and Delta, Ikwere, and everyone from the Rivers State of one Nigeria, as they call it. We also have our brothers from the Lower Benue. We have from the Kogi. Everyone carried along, and we don't leave anybody behind. It's something that will even shock yourself, that your brothers from Ambazonia and you are one. When you hear them speak, you hear some of them speaking Igbo. You hear some of them speaking Akwa cross languages. Though you ask yourself, how come we speak the same languages but they dissected us into one end and say that we are different people? We are fighting on. And the allegiances with these two nations have come to stay, and there is nothing that can break it. Let me read the press statement from the office of the Prime Minister first. As the legitimate representative of the Biafra people, the Biafra Republic government in exile welcomes genuine effort for the overdue release of its citizen and the IPOB leader, Maazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has been illegally incarcerated against international laws. And it is the responsibility of the Biafra government, underline that very point. It is the responsibility of the Biafra government. It is the responsibility of the Biafra government to ensure the release of our citizens illegally detained across Nigeria, and the Biafra government have continued to implement measures to facilitate the release of our citizens. The government is using this opportunity to reiterate its call for the terrorist Nigerian government to pull out its terrorists, men in military uniforms, from Biafra territory. The delegitimization of the Nigeria state has entered a critical stage, and all Biafrans must continue to stay 1 kilometer away from all illegal Nigerian military checkpoints and bases. Our point remains as it is. We don't shake and we don't change. Our standing orders are intact. You release Maazi Nnamdi Kanu. We don't care about whatever you're pronouncing there. We don't have time. And then pull out all your terrorists. And then anybody that we see now that is speaking or canvassing for the release of Maazi Nnamdi Kanu or singing praises or dancing, we clap for you, we welcome you. Yes. The condition that the Biafran leader Maazi Nnamdi Kanu must be handed over to the Biafran government in exile. He must be handed over to the Biafran government in exile. This is the press release from the office of the Prime Minister of the Biafran people. This is what I want every Biafran and the media to portray going forward. I am not giving you the privilege to go and analyze or expose or dissect or join or strengthen or interpret whatever the legal team are doing. Don't do it. Don't delve into it for now. Leave it, even if our legal team comes out tomorrow and writes that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say he is no more the leader of IPOB. Don't say anything. Media team, I hope you guys are listening to me. Dependent medias and independent medias of BRGIE, listen to us from the government of Biafra. Do not go to analyze. Do not go to do anything. Don't talk up and down. Don't interpret anything. Leave it the way it is at this very point. Let the legal team explore. Let them do whatever they can do. We want them to deliver something. Yes. Just keep focus on the administration of this Biafran government. Keep focus on the ordinances of the Prime Minister. Keep focus on the ordinances of the government of Biafra. Allow the legal team to explore their framework. Do not go there. You can create your time and talk about the Biafra Defense Forces, create awareness on every other department. Leave the legal proceedings aside for now. Because the Biafran government in exile has already given a condition to the terrorist war Nigeria that MNK must be handed over to the Biafran government. And that is why I go back again, that it is the responsibility of the Biafran government to ensure the release of our citizens illegally detained across Nigeria. This is government to government talking. This is not organization. This is a government. So a government goes to the release of her citizens that is illegally detained one way or another. So the government now gives a condition on how they want citizens to be given back to them. How many of you can remember what happened between America and the Iranian government? The terrorists of Iran. You saw that Biden's administration gave over, is it $600 billion or $60 million? They had a truce. They were to pay the money and then get back the American armies or the Iranian armies or the terrorists that they had in their prisons. So in exchange, you have to pay money to get back, and they will give you a condition. These are what countries do. These are what countries do. These are what governments do. So the Biafran government has their conditions for one Nigeria. You know why? Because he was kidnapped. Yes, he was kidnapped. So Biafran government gave them a condition. So it is the responsibility of the Biafran government. That is why I'm telling the Biafran people now and every media hands, it is not what you say now that matters. It is the responsibility of the Biafran government to take charge and to decide whatever they want and how it should be done to the interest of the citizenry of Biafra. So the condition that the Biafran leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, must be handed over to the Biafran government in exile and must successfully arrive in Finland precisely remains the prerequisite for his absolute freedom. And any attempt otherwise will surely meet a dead end. This is from the office of the Prime Minister of the Biafran government in exile. So when we see him in the office of the Prime Minister in Finland, then the government of Biafra will tell you something else. For now, those are the conditions from the government of Biafra. So disregard whatever you see that they are propagating on the media, whether they say he submit to this condition, he submit to that condition, or he doesn't submit to that condition, or this and that. All those are bunkums. The Biafran government, they are prerequisites. So when you meet it, we see our leader in our hands in the government house of Biafra, then we will know the next thing to tell you. We use this opportunity to also call on Biafrans all over the world to stand strong and to continue their support in preparation for the upcoming declaration of the restoration of the independence of Biafra Convention come December 2nd, 2024. So, have you bought or have you paid for your ticket to Finland? Rush now before the slot is up. Go and get your own and come to Finland and be there live and direct. As America is getting ready to celebrate their independence on the 4th of July, we call on all Americans, especially those, the decision makers, to understand that what America did over 200 years ago is what we as a people and nation called Biafra is about to do on December 2nd. And there is need to support the declaration of Biafra for lasting peace in Sahel, West Africa, Africa, and by extension, the West and America. Congratulations to you. We, the people of Biafra, are looking forward to celebrate like you. Biafrans should ensure that they have secured their ticket in good time for the upcoming historic event. So, Biafran people, this is a communique from the office of the Prime Minister, and that is the mandate of the Biafran people.
There are people who are incorruptible. Incorruptible, I said. There is nothing that moves them. I have come to this earth to do one thing and one thing alone, is to fight and get Biafra. I have not come to this world to be a millionaire, to own hotel, to own oil block, to be close to the president of Nigeria. That's not my job. My job is, what have you done to restore Biafra? When I die and meet Chukwu Abiyama, that's what they will ask me. Did you get Biafra? Not how many cars you had, how many hotels you built, how many convoys you can travel with. Irrelevant.
That is the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Yes, the supreme leader of IPOB. And that IPOB now has a government, and that government speaks for our citizens. It is not the citizens that speaks for themselves at this time. It is the government that speaks for our citizens.
Did I commit any crime? Did I commit any crime? The answer is no. I committed no crime. I am fighting for the freedom of my people as contained in the constitution of the soul called Nigeria. I did no wrong. That was why after 2 years they could not prove any case. Even till now, we are still in court, they cannot prove any case. And people talk as if they are so moronic that an animal is better than them. They say I insult them. I insult them because they can't reason properly. I did nothing wrong. Calling for the establishment, or should I say the restoration of Biafra, is within provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is very clear and straightforward. It's there. Go and check it yourself. And you're asking me to be happy instead of me to be upset that I was arrested. Nnamdi Kanu has not done anything that other people from other zones have not done. We know about Sunday Igboho, of the Yoruba nation agitator. We know of the Boko Haram people that say they want a different country where Western education is an abomination. These people have been released. Not just that they have been released. In the case of Boko Haram, they've been re-assimilated to the society, given plum jobs, even in our military. They've been given money and been resuscitated, reconciled, and rehabilitated. Why is Nnamdi Kanu's case different? There is an ethnic and some unnecessary bias that is keeping that man in jail. The government should be wise enough to release this man. You can use the Julian Assange option. If you don't want to say you are losing face, you can release him conditionally. You can release him unconditionally. As a lawyer, I've watched the legal issues very clearly. And I saw that even in the courts, from the High Court to the Supreme Court, there are discordant tones amongst them. Even in the issue of bail, some of the tier of the courts are granted him bail. Even in the issue of the charges, some tier of the court had quashed all the charges. So you can see that the government has a lot of places it can stand to release the young man and bring peace to the southeast. He is now more like a political prisoner. I tell you something. The longer Nnamdi Kanu is in prison, the taller he becomes, and the shorter the government becomes. They should take the intelligent way out of this and release him like they did to other people. Rehabilitate him and reconcile him as they are reconciling Southeast completely to the nation.
Thank God we have a government, and the government of Biafra has spoken. We don't care the grammars that are spoken left, right, center. All we say is, when we see Onyendu in Finland, Biafran government house in the hands of our prime minister, then you will know the next steps. Remove your terrorists from Biafra land. All the terrorists that you have in the name of checkpoint. It is because we have a government. That is why we are not crying like the Benue people that cried yesterday. Yes. If Mazin Nnamdi Kanu did not rekindle the fire of Biafra for us, today our cry would have been more than the Benue people.
First of all, I must salute the candid performance of solidarity exhibited by President Obasanjo, Secretary General Emeka Yoko, the Obi of Onitsha, and the President of Ohanese in showing solidarity with the governors of the Southeast in quest of pursuing the release of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Various bodies have spoken in favor of his release. You will recall that Pa Edwin Clark has spoken again and again. Pa Adebanjo has spoken. The courts also spoke. Ohanese again and again has spoken. I do believe that the best interest of every and any government is where it is possible to secure peace and tranquility. And if there is anybody that will contribute immensely in securing peace and tranquility in any region or zone, our duty is to encourage to have that person play that role. More so when the issue at hand is more to do with somebody considered to be a political captive. But I'm happy also that the governors of the Southeast region finally came together, amongst other matters, deliberated on the issue of Mazin Namdekan and have agreed to work hand in gloves in meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
No, stop, I'm there. Because we want Biafran people to know the importance of having a government. Like we said before, Biafran people, the media team, do not go and analyze or dissect or expose or tell anything about what the legal team are doing now. But you must understand that it is this government that the Prime Minister set up with his cabinet, the government of the people, to stand for the people and to speak for the people and to defend the people, that has smoked out all these Fulani slave boys. Yes, it is the same Fulani slave boys that came together to say, we proscribe the indigenous people of Biafra. It is the same Fulani slave boys that went as far as bringing army, police, air force, navy, civil defense, and everything that you can call of, to invade the house of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu and to kill Mazin Nnamdi Kanu in the process. And then they ended up killing over 28 Biafrans. Was that enough for them? No, that wasn't enough for them. They went ahead as far as killing Biafrans wherever they were gathering for prayers, they were gathering for their fellowship, where they gathered for meetings. They will go and open fire on them and kill them. They will also go as far as making sure they kill Biafrans in Izombe, they kill Biafrans in Ayututu, they kill Biafrans in Yamufu, they kill Biafrans in Owamama, they kill Biafrans in Umotanze, they kill Biafrans in Uli, they kill Biafrans in Igala, they also kill Biafrans in Obibo. They kill Biafrans in Emene, they kill Biafrans anywhere they saw Biafra and saw Biafra flag. And they heard the voice of Biafrans. These were done by these same evil men and women that you saw that gathered in the name of Southeast nonsense. Governors and politicians, religious leaders and traditional rulers, senators and ministers. So they are all one and the same thing. These are the same people that came up with Operation Python Dance. They came with Operation Python Dance to kill the Biafran people. Why? All because they want to place the Fulani terrorists in powers so that they can continue to collect brown, white, yellow envelopes, so that they can continue to give them houses in Dubai, America, UK, Switzerland, UK, Europe, Asia, so that they can continue to own limousines and own private jets and big cars and armored cars. These are the same people that made sure the kidnap of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu was well harnessed. When you listen to Ejiofor and Chinasa Bedbo Nworu, they said they said from their conversation that they said the governors were rounding up on him. So they had a meeting, they concluded on what they have to do, and then Britain now told them, you have to do it. Oh, we want this Nigeria to continue. We want the 2023 elections to work out. And then in turn, we must use one person to come and buy off time, to cause more chaos and distraction, to give hope that is hopeless and aspirations that can never come to fruition to the Biafran people, so that they will key in and say, yes, we have hope. Let us leave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We have another hope, which was obedient. He planned it all out, worked it all out. The mathematics came out for them. So while some of you ran and left Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention, this very prime minister, this very cabinet of his, this very government that you see here stood their ground to say, no, if we allow all this to happen and go like that, Biafra will be gone and forgotten. It is because of this very government that you see today that while dead bodies are stockpiled in Benue State, Plateau, Borno, while you see that in one local government in Borno State, there are 3 suicide bomb attacks. 3 suicide bomb attacks. The reason you see that this suicide bomb attack was not detonated in Biafra land is because of the existence of this very government. So when I played that audio of that man, and he said he commend the governors, the Southeast nonsense, the idiot, the slave boys, he said, yes, you have to understand that these slave boys did not come to have this their nonsense meeting for you to be calling their names for nothing. And they have come out to deceive all of you outside there and say, this is what their communique is. Whereas that is not the context of what their meeting was all about. All the time that they have gathered had been, let them send another suicide bomber to go to Finland to kill Simon Ekpa. Let them send suicide bomber. Let them send a killer squad to go and kill Simon Ekpa. There was nothing like releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Who shouted out? Was it not one of them that shouted out that some of them are ready for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released? Why some of them are not ready? Is it governors that were ready for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out or to come out that will come back and be killing Biafrans? And then when you kill Biafrans, you now go back to go and give another name, and then you go and carry microphone. You go and give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu inside court and say, what do you say about the killings, the insecurity in Biafra land? You come out here, you stage something, then you now rush to the court. Yeah. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what do you have to say about the killings in Biafra land? Somebody that is in chains, you kidnap him, you lock him up, you cut off his liberty, you cut off his joy, you cut off everything that every other person has freedom of. Then he is in chains, so you lock his leg down inside prison. You blindfold him. You beat him to stupor. You don't give him food to eat. His health, you don't attend to it medically. Then you are eating fat and you are enjoying in your communities. Then after you kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and put in detention, you now go and rush, carry microphone, go and meet him any day that you bring him to court. Hey, what will you say about the insecurity in the country? So somebody that is behind bars, somebody that you have locked up inside one room, he is now the one to come and talk about the heinous crimes that you are committing in the open space when he does not know what you are doing. These are the same evil governors that made sure Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. And these are the same evil governors that every time they gather, they come to plan of how they can stop Simon Ekpa, how they can kill Simon Ekpa, how they can stop the Biafran government. They are the ones that make sure when Biafran government strike their terrorist camps, they say don't report it as Biafran government, to report it as ESN. We have made it categorically clear and loud that there is nothing like ESN anymore. All the ESN that we had in 2021 when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, which you all tried so hard to scrap. All these evil governors, they came up, they said they want to scrap ESN. They even use a Jofo to go and meet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and then come and deceive the gullibles and tell them that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said he doesn't want to hear film from any commander again, that everybody should hands down the weapons. Nobody should defend Biafra land again, that we should allow the terrorists coming to kill our women and children. That he has backed down. These are what these terrorists did. These slave boys and masters did. And you listen to them?
Did they remove them? What is this one now? Oh. Let me see. They can't stop us.
I can't hear.
I can't
hear our information minister's voice anymore.
I think.
Is it me that is under attack? Can somebody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we can't hear information minister.
Yeah, I can hear you. Me too, I can't hear him.
We can hear you, Sister Stella.
Yeah, we can hear you, but I can't hear our minister.
Okay. Okay, so it wasn't my fault. David.
No, it wasn't.
What do we do? We'll go on until he comes back.
Let's go ahead. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Go on now, yeah.
Am I coming out?
Sure.
Yeah, we can hear
David,
you now.
I know your mic was closed before.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, our pragmatic and meticulous Minister of Information, for that wonderful and detailed submission. We want to appreciate you once again, sir, for bringing us together today to talk about the things that affect us, talk about the policies of our government, talk about the release of our leader, and talk about the commonality between each and every one of us. First of all, I want to welcome every Biafran who has joined us today in this space. And I want to appreciate my leader, Ohamadike of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for standing very strong for us, for defending us even before our enemies, despite what is passing through on our behalf in the DSS custody. Our leader is very strong in his conviction that Biafra must be restored. We appreciate you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I also salute my Prime Minister, Agune Chamber 1, for his actions and activities that is making the Nigerian government and every political leader to now have the boldness to speak for the freedom of our leader. We thank you, our Prime Minister. I also appreciate all the members of the cabinet of the Biafran Republic government in exile, all the ministers of the government who are contributing immensely, formulating policies, helping our Prime Minister to make sure that the restoration of Biafra is very, very eminent. These distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate each and every one of you. I also appreciate Biafrans who are contributing immensely despite their mega resources. They contribute towards the freedom of our people and our nation. I salute each and every one of you. I salute all Biafrans, hardcore Biafrans, wonderful people and lovers of freedom who have joined this space today. I just want to take out a little time to salute you. I don't know if my minister has not finished his submission. I can mute my mic so that you can finish your submission, sir, if you are there.
Am I coming out again? I had to change the network because it was fluctuating. Am I coming out?
Yes. Yes, you are, sir. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Sorry for the break in transmission. I salute you all once again. I was just making the entire world to know the importance and the reasons why we say IPOB has a government, and that government is BRGIE. It is this very government that smoke out these criminals. And it is this very government that has pressed on since the kidnap of Martin Nnamdi Kanu to this very day. So without this very government, the citizens of Biafra will not be defended. And they will not be protected. Without this very government, the bomb blast that you see ravaging the Borno states, the northeast, the northwest, the north central, and all of them there, it would have been worst in Biafra land. Our own be say we no get people where we call leaders now. Is it these Fulani slave boys that rather bring terrorists to come and kill us every time that we call leaders? Are these people that will speak for us? When the Fulani senators and Gumi and the northern senators are rising up in the National Assembly, the House of Reps, and in the ministerial and the governmental seat, they are telling you that you cannot kill a Fulani man. You cannot kill a Fulani terrorist. Whether they kill your children, your babies, or women and men, or they destroy your crops or your livelihood, or they even destroy your existence, that you don't have the right to kill a Fulani man. That you should allow them to explore. They tell you, Kudo, that they are fighting ethnic war. So they are fighting to cleanse you of the earth and to make their own ethnicity to stand as the power of supremacy, which is what Britain did when they galvanized the Nigerian contraption together, right from 1914, right from even when Britain came. Britain came and then started having the contraption together as a company on what? On a terrorist act, on a terrorist ground. The insecurity you see today, it is Britain that started it. That they kill people, they can put knife on people's head, they can rape women, rape men, and cut off heads. It was Britain. Britain crushed the testicles of men in Africa when they came. What has Britain not done? It is the foundation and the footprint of Britain that you see that their descendants transcends with. So our own case would have been over deadly, times power, millions and trillions, because we have no leaders. What we have are slave boys that decides to see themselves as rulers that can go and sit down and make decisions against the wishes of the people just for their interests, for their pockets and their families and their aspirations of going to America and Europe. And when you look at what is happening, you will feel so bad. Without this government of IPOB, without this government of the people, for the people, and by the people, protecting the people and defending the people, you will not see that anybody will talk about Martin Namdekano, or anybody will even talk about the Biafran people again. So IPOB has a government. That is why we call on all the whole Eastern region, we call on all the 40 states of Biafra to come out, that it is because of the government that they have, and that they have a government, that they are alive today. That take this government out of the way, you are all crushed in one day by the Fulani terrorists. It is this same government that is engaging countries and nations diplomatically to see that what Biafra needs to be known of is. It is this same government that is saddled with the responsibility of defending your integrity and protecting your dignity. It is this same government that is saddled with the responsibility of defending you in your countries of residence. It is this same government that is saddled with the responsibility of making sure that all the terrorists in Biafra land are sent off. When we say government speaks to government, one Nigerian terrorist country, they understand it. And that is why they are afraid of doing anyhow. That is why they are afraid of going kaka. We commend the legal team for what they are doing, for our leader and every Biafrans that are illegally incarcerated by one Nigerian terrorist government. And our message still remains the same. When we see Martin Namdekano in the hands of the Biafran government in exile, in the office of the Prime Minister in Finland, the government of Biafra will speak again. And the terrorists, you either pull them out of Biafra land or you allow them to die there. Yes. If you don't want to pull the terrorists out of Biafra land, allow them to die there in Biafra land. Because we don't decide whether we have to mercy terrorists or whether we have to play with terrorists or whether we have to rub minds with terrorists. We are not one Nigerian terrorist country. It is only Nigerian terrorist country that recruit terrorists back into their army, into their police, into their air force, into their navy, into their civil defense, and every security apparatus. In Biafra, we don't recruit terrorists into our defense forces. No. It is the indigenous people of Biafra that are part and parcel of their defense forces. No terrorists recruited from the Sahel or contracted from somewhere can be part and parcel of our defense forces. You must be an indigenous person. And if you even have any inclination of terrorist act, you cannot be allowed to be part and parcel of the defense forces of Biafra. Because international kidnappers will always be terrorists. Nigerian government is international kidnapper. That is why they embrace, they are in pari passu with the foot soldiers terrorists that they are brought into one Nigeria. We weep for those that will be used as sacrificial lambs for one Nigeria this time. Because this is not 1966 to 70s. In 1966 to 70s, when you listen to Colonel Obosi said, we had to start the coup because there were plans to kill all the Yorubas and the Middle Belt. And he said, we were of the federal military government of Nigeria. We were trained to protect lives and to defend, and to also defend the integrity of the country. But the Nigerian government said we should kill the Yoruba people and the Middle Beltans. Then we said, no, we cannot kill them. So because we said we cannot kill them, we disobeyed the last order. They had to court-martial many of us. And so we planned a coup. So for us to avert the coup of the Islamic Jihad, for us to avert the Islamic Jihad that was coming, we had to initiate the coup to save the lives of the Yoruba people and the Middle Beltans that were to be totally massacred. Do you understand the point? For us to have saved the life of everyone in Nigeria, in turn, they turned the war.
We are not hearing you again,
The
no.
Biafran people in the whole eastern region. So while the war now was then fixated on the Biafran people, Lagos and other parts of the country were enjoying going to school, doing businesses, economy was booming, they were making money and then making mockery of the Biafran people. But these are the Biafran people that actually decided to defend their existence. So we weep for you all today, because this is not the time of old. This is 2024. It is called tit for tat. And we have a government of Biafra that has come to be, that has streamlined everything in order to the defense of Biafra and Biafra and Biafra. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, we had some Yoruba people shouting freedom, freedom, freedom with us. Today, where are they? They were shouting Oduduwa with us. Today, where are they? You see? Because they have given them Jakaban. They now resolve that they have landed. The freedom they were shouting is no more of importance. Oh, it is Jakaban that has come to be the savior. It is Jakaban that has been their option. It is the same way that they had wanted to give you Peter Obi, which they brought Peter Obi and gave to some of you. And you all abandoned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You were all now singing, Peter Obi is the savior, Peter Obi is the nonsense, Peter Obi is the idiot, Peter Obi is the rubbish. Some of you were saying, Peter Obi will come and give us Biafra. And Peter Obi opened his stinking mouth to say, Biafra died 50-something years ago and should never be allowed to resurface again. And for their survivors, we may not compensate them, but we will see what to do. And when they ask him, what will you do to the Fulani terrorists that are killing people every day? He said, for the Fulani terrorists, we will see a way of reintegrating them back into the society so that they will come and continue killing the people from where they stopped. What is different from what Peter Obi said compared to what the Secretary General of United Nations said? Secretary General of United Nations visited Nigeria. He saw skeletal bodies of babies, children, women, and men that were killed by Fulani terrorists. After he supervised IDP camps, that is nothing to write home about, he came out and said he recommends that Nigeria should reintegrate the terrorists into the community. That is what the Nigerian government are doing today. That is what Musa told you, that they are very comfortable, that it is working very well with the reintegration of the terrorists into the Nigerian army, the airspace, the navy, the police, and everything that has to do with Nigeria. That it is working very well. But when you hear of Biafra, you have to kill Simon Ekpa. You have to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You have to kill anything Biafra. Do you understand the mindset of these people? So IPOB has a government, and this government has a purpose. Today, who is crying now? Is it IPOB that is crying now, or it is the one Nigerian is that are crying. That's why I say I weep for some of you in anticipation. No? All of you that are in one Nigeria, I weep for all of you in anticipation. Because what we did in 1966 to carry the cross of every other person, we will not carry it again in 2024. We are only saddled with the responsibility of carrying the cross of the Biafran people. And we will defend Biafra with everything we have. And anybody that tries to come into this Biafran territory when you are not part of the Biafra, you want to come and give us trouble, we will tear you to pieces. We will make sure you go and enjoy your one Nigeria. And you will pay with your blood for the one Nigeria. As we speak now, you can see what is happening in Benue. You can see what is happening in Borno State. You can see what is happening in Plateau. You can see what is happening in Zamfara. You can see what is happening in Kano. You can see what is happening in Abuja. You can see what is happening in Abuja-Kaduna Highway. Many will be kidnapped. They'll keep them, collect money. They will start, like the other one doctor, one medical doctor with whether 3 children or 4. With the wife, they have killed the eldest son because the 200 million naira that they demanded has not come. They killed the eldest son first to send a message. If they delay again, they will kill another one. This son I'm talking about is a son of, is it about 12 or 14? Then you have a child that is up to whether 3 years there. They will kill all of them. They will kill. This is what the Fulani terrorists do. These are the people they want you to live together with. These are the people that Nigerian government recruit back into the army and the Air Force and the police and the Navy to carry weapons, and then they say they are your army, that they should come into the community to be protecting you. How do you know a terrorist from non-terrorists when they wear the same uniforms and coming in the same name, army, police, Air Force, Navy, civil defense? No, they are all classified as terrorists. That is the message from the Biafran government. Anybody wearing the uniform representing the Nigerian army or police or Air Force or Navy in Biafra land, you are all terrorists and should be treated as such, because you have absorbed the terrorists into your enclaves. They are now part and parcel of your sect, and so there is no differentiation amongst them. And you are comfortable with it. You're very okay with it. But it is where you hear Biafra that you must shoot to kill, shoot to die, cut them to pieces. Why should they speak Biafra? Now, I go see shock of what I life in this 2024. If there was no government of IPOB, if there was no BRGIE, Biafran Republic Government in Exile, as a government of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, if there was no government, will you see Musa, the chief of defense staff of a country that has existed with an army that has fought and claimed to have won wars outside of Nigeria in different years, an army that has existed from when they say they had their independence in 1960 to this very day? They say they have army. How many years is the Nigerian army now, or the Nigerian country? 63 years, Abi. So an army that has existed for 63 years is crying that Simon Ekpa's Biafra Liberation Army that is not up to 1 year yet. Biafra Liberation Army is not up to 1 year of existence. It was inaugurated in October, Helsinki, 2023. Are we up to a year yet? No. We have not clocked October this 2024. When we clock October, before we know that we are 1 year. But this is an army that the federal government of Nigeria, their chief of defense staff, the Okakpatabata, is crying already. Why? Because there is a Biafran government that is formidable and very strong. IPOB has a government. It is this very government that has stopped the Operation Python dance that was coming to dance pythonically on the Biafran people every year. They will bring them, and you will hear another one. They say Operation Udoka, Operation Udoka 1, Operation Udoka 2, Operation Udoka 3. And you don't ask them what is the meaning of the Udoka. You use the name Udoka. Then you come. You kill us. You kill us. You use the name Udoka. You come, you kill us. Cut our heads to pieces. Pour acid on us. Tie our hands to the back. Dump us inside the bushes. Dump us in the rivers. Dump us in shallow graves. Destroy us because we committed it. What crime did we commit? And then you say Operation Python Dance, Operation Udoka, Operation this, Operation that. Biafran government is the one that has destroyed you people. Biafran government is the reason why the Chief of Defense Staff is crying. Biafran government is the reason you see that over 50 senators from the nonsense house that they call themselves sat down and then say, this issue of this issue of Biafra is not something we should ignore. It is the fire that the Biafran Prime Minister is giving them from the Biafran government in exile. It is Biafran government that necessitated the Senate President of a country. When have you ever seen, before you see that a matter is being discussed in the Senate chambers, the lawmaker chambers of a country, like where you have the Congress House in America, before you see that a matter is discussed in the Congress House of America, you should understand that this matter is a matter that needs urgency, a matter that is very, very important to the national interests of the country. Senate President said, this matter of Biafra that Simon Ekpa, as the Prime Minister of the government, has sat down, is not something we should ignore. It is very, very, very intricate. We have to deal with it. That is why we create time for it. When has it ever happened that you hear that they sit down in the Nigerian parliament where they make laws and they sit down to discuss Biafra, to discuss Biafran government, to discuss the Biafran Prime Minister for over 3 hours? And it is being televised to the national television of the country. Everybody watch it that have generator, because I will not say you have electricity. It's only when you have generator that you can see television and hear something on the radio. Or if you are able to afford solar panel, then you are able to see something. But to say electricity that the country will give you, bunkum. They cannot even give you enabling environment for you to live or to do your business. Is it electricity that they come to give you? They can't even allow you to harness the resources you have. They can't even allow you to bring out the dreams and aspirations that God has embedded in you to become something useful, to be productive to the society. Is there electricity that they will not give you? Electricity that is the basic necessity that you should have given to a people. Water, electricity, enabling environment, security. They can't assure you and give you that because they know by the time they give you, the sky will be your limit. They want you to remain
I can't hear the
under
information minister
their
anymore.
foot. Can everyone hear me? Is it
Yes,
only
we
so
are
that
here.
can't
Yeah,
hear
from
me?
my side. David, are you there?
Everyone, can you
We
hear
are
me?
hearing.
Ifeanyi,
Okay,
can
Yeah,
you
hold
hear
that
me?
part.
yeah,
Can
we
somebody
can
Yes,
hear
hear
me?
you, Minister.
we are hearing.
Yes.
We
Tell her
can hear
others can
you.
hear me.
We
Let
can
me
hear
bring you
Maybe
you.
you
down and
have
bring you up
network
again.
problem.
Maybe you have network issues. So these are the points that we want the entire Biafran people to understand. That it is this very government that has put fire on the nyash, just like the 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 jingle that we played before, where the brother from Akwa Cross made the jingle and said, Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafran government in Israel, has put fire on the nyash of Nigerian government. And he said that all of them have double citizens and they are on the run. It is because of the Prime Minister, the Biafran government that he put up that is making all this to happen. So Biafran government has, IPOB has a government. That is the message we want Biafran people to understand. And it is that government that speaks for the Biafran people. It is that government that is saddled with the responsibility of what condition or truths they have or terms they have to give to every terrorist country that has kidnapped our citizens. So without this very government, nobody is speaking for the Biafran people. So it is what the Biafran government that says that is the final say. So let whoever is playing their games, let them finish the game. When they finish play the game, they will remember that we have Biafran government, and it is the Biafran government that has the final say. It's the message to the Biafran people. We thank you all, and let's keep the fire burning and let the message continue. And media team, please. There are some things you need to curtail when you are hosting programs, and most especially on the space. I want people to understand that when you are hosting programs on the space, the entire cabinet are listening, because it is the space that we stream out. It is the space that we connect to the international community and the leaders. It is the space that we meet important personnel. It is from this Twitter that you talk to the government of countries and nations and bodies. So when you are hosting, you are streaming them out, and they are going out to the satellite and to the radio, and the other people are listening from homeland. So a situation whereby you host a space and it is for the Biafran government, and then you now give room to idiots that will be coming up to pick the microphone and be drifting you away from focus, from the topic, from the mandate of the government, and wants you to start preaching what they want. Please, you knock them out. This is not time for political correctness. It is not time to wait for who is coming to come and tell us how to do, what to do. If they know how to do and the way to do, they should go and start doing their own. Don't come now to come and start advising the prime minister or the government. No, we have a template, and we are following that template that the prime minister with his government has on the table. So do not condone situations that people will come and distract you from focus, and then you keep engaging them for no use. I'm telling you that it is for no use that you keep engaging them. Yes, because someone that is new in a system, when you come, the first thing that you should do is to go and start listening. I tell you something. When I come to space to listen to some of you, or I open the TV or Facebook or YouTube while you're here and we are streaming out, first thing I do is that I listen for the next 30 minutes to be able to grab the topic that you guys are talking about. It is when I'm able to understand what people are talking about, the angle that you guys are talking, and from what perspective, before I can now be able to assimilate something. I don't jump in and then I want to come and start telling you this is how Biafra should be done. When you just came back from obedience, when you just came back from one Nigeria, when you're just coming to come and give us problems. Where were you when the prime minister was cracking his brain with his cabinet to set up a government? Where were you when the prime minister was defending Yamufu? Where were you when the prime minister was defending Igala? Where were you when the prime minister was fighting all these terrorist slaves boys that you see them coming out today to speak? Where were you when the prime minister was taking the bullet? When over $650,000 was, or million was placed on his head as a bounty, where were you when he was shedding tears on a live program, calling on God to give him the wisdom of 1,000 men so that he can be able to deal with black and demented mindsets and evil in incarnate like the ones that you saw them coming out to speak yesterday on the internet? Where were you when the prime minister was going through that very stage? You come back today, or you exhume from nowhere, or they send you message to come, then you come, you jump in, you collect mic, because we are so learned to give mic to everybody to speak. So you now want to come and destroy what we are doing. Is it that the media team want us to be selecting those that should be hosting spaces that we need to be streaming out. Because I can't allow it that official platform that we are streaming out a government message that is going out through the satellite, going out to the radio, is where you now allow distractors to be coming to pick mic and then sit down for over how long and distract you from focus. What we need the Biafran people to know now is the way forward. Give them confidence, make them understand the importance of this government, let them know that the only way out they have is this BRGIE government, and you have only one prime minister for now, and that you have nothing to do with one Nigeria. Somebody coming to start telling us what Nigeria should do, what we should do, how we should go about it, knock them out. Don't give room to all those people. Because when Biafrans are listening from the radio or satellite, they will think, oh, is the platform hijacked by one Nigerian IPOB? Because that is where you go and then you'll be hearing people criticizing the Biafran government. They'll be asking silly questions that even when you try to explain to them, they will now turn it to attack. Oh, let us dialogue. Oh, let us reason. Who tell you that we want to come and reason with you? We have already reasoned. The Prime Minister has reasoned already with his cabinet and then came out with a template. So what you're coming to say now is not important to us. If you can't key into the line that is already streamed out there, you run away. Just run away, go and hide yourself in shame. The Biafran government has 40 states of Biafra now, and that encompasses of all the old Eastern region states. And those that we left behind before, we have picked them along. From all these 40 states of Biafra that you hear of now, any of them that will tell you that he did not know about Biafra war is a lie. Because all of them felt the Biafra war. Because they are all from the provinces of Biafra. They all know if your brother or your father or your friend or your relation did not fight, he must have been a victim in one way or another. They all felt the war directly or indirectly. So immediate in place, be guided on how you control your space when you're here, so that the message that is going out will be assuring to the Biafran people, giving confidence, embedding the trust of the BRGIE to the people of Biafra. We need every hands to be on deck. We need more funds. We need more funds. We need more support. Financially, we need to be more and more superb because we have a lot of responsibilities at hand. So if you are coming to join us now, and the first thing you do is not to come and ask us, how can you contribute? But you're coming to tell us, this is how you should do it. Start looking for the closest lagoon to jump into, because we don't need you. When you come, you sit down and you see people donating 1,000, 500, 300, 200, 100. What you should ask first is, how do I also be part of this donation? After you have known the reason of the donation, which is to the defense of Biafra and to the restoration of the independent United States of Biafra. First question you should ask, how do I? Then you now know how you can. Then you start asking other questions. Are people from this place part of it? Then they tell you, yes, we are part. Okay, please clarify me on this one. We clarify you. When we clarify you, you don't start coming back to tell us, no, you people should do like this. No, we don't want to hear that. If you start like that, we will knock you come out. So that you can go and form a different platform, go and stand in a different place and be telling yourself how that thing should be done and do it for yourself. But in this very government, there is a template and we have a prime minister, and he's only one leader. That is a prime minister here. So it is only this one leader that is the prime minister now that we have, that the zoo terrorists are crying on a daily basis. They are not crying about you. They are crying about this prime minister, of his formidability, his consistency, and the unwavering support that the Biafran people have given to him. They are so perplexed and asking questions. What is he doing? How is he able to cajole the minds of the Biafran people to remain so focused on whatever he says? It is the consistency. It is the God of Biafra that is behind him, because he has the mandate of the Biafran people. And we know what we are going and where we are going and what we are doing with him. That is why the Biafran people will listen to him even in their dreams. They will listen to him and they will do more of what he says we should do. I thank you all, and I drop it here. Over to you, co-host, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, the Minister of Information, Sonny Akwarawa. Thank you for that well-detailed submission to the Biafran people. We appreciate you, sir. I want to also use the opportunity to welcome every minister in the House, all our ministers of the cabinet. I really appreciate every one of you for joining us. Thank you so much. Igbo, Akwa Cross, Igodomigodo, Urhobo, Ishekiri. These are Biafran land. These are Biafran states in the 40 states of the Federal Republic, United States of Biafra. Oh, sorry. Very, very important. We are one people under God. The people of the United States of Biafra are here once again to speak our people in the homeland and everyone in the diaspora. If you are listening, we welcome you, lovers of freedom, international media, even those who are listening anonymously. We welcome each and every one of you, including those who are the enemies of Biafra. We welcome you as well, because we know before the end of this message we are preaching, we will be able to reset the brains that are ready to be resetted. Very, very important. This is our space, and we'll continue to push the message to the international community on the need for them to understand that the Biafran people have risen up, have taken up their destiny into their own hands. And we have our government, the Biafran Republic government in exile, that is responsible to the Biafran people. This is a government we listen to. This is a government that is protecting the Biafran people. And this government is piloted by the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. It is only him and the Biafran government in exile cabinet members that we listen to, including that of the de facto in the homeland. Very, very important. Having said that, I want to use this opportunity to appeal to every Biafran all around the world. If you have not voted on the self-referendum that is ongoing, the second phase, what are you waiting for? You have a lot to gain in this self-referendum. If you vote, that means you have demonstrated your readiness to exit a terrorist contraption. That means you have given your mandate for Biafra to be restored. Very, very important. If you want good life in Biafra, if you want good roads, hospitals, industries, everything you can think of in a sane society, it is only the United States of Biafra, free Biafran nation, that can offer it to you. So if you have not voted, try and vote. Very, very important. If you have not also registered for your ID card, very important you do so as well. Because at this juncture, the government have made it very, very possible and very, very easy. We have our website that you can go and register for your ID, vote as well. But those in the homeland, They are also voting manually. It is also very pertinent to let the Biafran people understand that at this time, just like our Minister of Information have said, there is no time for games. We are less than 5 months for the restoration of Biafra. Everything that needs to be done for Biafra to come will be done. Our Prime Minister is putting everything in place. The government are doing everything humanly possible to make sure that Biafra comes without delay. So we are enjoying everybody to come on board. Very, very important. You contribute your own quota towards the restoration of our freedom. And we have a message for the terrorist Nigerian state, just like our minister has already said. If you are an arm-carrying terrorist in Biafra land, your days are numbered. You have the opportunity to relocate to Nigerian territory. Biafra land is not for you. Biafra land is for Biafran people. Our government have said it. You can no longer come to Biafra land and kill the Biafran people, and the government will fold their hands and watch you do that. It can no longer happen. Between 2017, 2016 to 2021, the Nigerian state had their field day, cutting youth in their prime, disappearing families, relations, and relatives, subjecting our people to all manner of dehumanizing treatment, selling of organs of our young youths, destroying our crops in the farms, and everything they did to put fear in the minds of the Biafran people. But thank God we have a government that have been able to stand their ground and say enough is enough. And this time around, the government is now protecting the Biafran territory. All the 40 states of Biafra land is under the control of the Biafran Republic government in exile. And all those who have come to kill our people, we have our volunteer army, the Biafran Defense Forces, that are charged with the responsibility to protect our women, our children, and defend our territory. So you, as a terrorist, you have to pack and go. We can be able to govern ourselves. Good thing we have a government, we have a prime minister, we have a de facto government in the homeland, we have our police, we have our air force, we have our marine. Every arm of government has been put in place by this Biafran Republic government in exile. So we can take control of our territory. We don't need you. Besides, you have not come to Biafra land to bring peace. Rather, you have come to destroy, to kill, to maim, and to destroy. And that can no longer be condoned in all the 40 states of Biafra land. So, fellow Biafrans, wonderful people, I welcome you once again. We have a government that listens to the Biafrans, a government that formulates policies for us, a government that has been able to ward off the terrorists that were sent to Biafra land through the bushes to invade our territory and disorganize our people. That government is the Biafran Republic government in exile, under the leadership of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. And that is the only government that the Biafran people will listen to. I welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us. As I yield my mic to my co-host, Sister Stella, thank you for being a co-host as well. Go ahead, Sister Stella.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me clearly? Good afternoon from here.
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
So I salute all the ministers in the house. I salute you, Frank, University, David and Nana. I salute Amuche. There were many here. Ugochukwu. I salute Tina. Shimon. Salute Sir Williams. I'm just going 111, so there were many. So good afternoon from here. And it's been a while, so I appreciate, for being around here. And since Elon Musk have decided to free my voice and free my mic, I'm excited. So I salute everyone, and the topic is Igbo, Akwa Cross, Igodomigodo, Urhobo, Isoko, Ishekiri, etc. We are all IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, and we have a government. And we'll call the government the bridge. And we also have de facto government in homeland. And all of us, all the Igbos, all the Akwa Cross, all the Igodomigodo, Urhobo, Isoko, all of us, we are all loyal to the bridge. Republic government in exile and de facto government in homeland. So, and they are doing a whole lot of job for us. I don't know what we would have done without them. Last time Buhari was saying, they're not serious. And at least create a state within a state. And ladies and gentlemen, we've been able to organize ourselves, and we now have a state within a state. And that's the bridge. So Biafra government is moving fiercely to remove Biafrans from the hands of Fulani Islamic Nigeria government, because Biafrans have been subjugated, annihilated, massacred, genocided, killed, enslaved, hated upon. We've been raped, not, and the ransoms are paid. And if the persons are not able to pay the ransom, the persons are going to be harvested and sold $225,000 in international markets. And like I speak, if you go to China, there's a soup they call wonton soup. That's where all the Biafran male penises end up. Penis end up in that soup. I've seen that soup. It's called wonton soup. Go and Google it. Find out. You will know what I'm talking about. So our brothers' penises end up in China soup pot. And all these organs are harvested mostly in Obinze barracks, where deep freezers are stockpiled with Biafran organs. And I tell you, I bet you we are looking for where they don't take light in Nigeria and in Biafra land. Is in Obinze barracks. If you go there, you have light 24 hours. Yes, they don't take light there because they have to keep all those organs, intact in freezers, because they're not dealing on organ exportation. You understand? So you go there, but don't go there because they will catch you and harvest your own organ. Don't go there. I'm just telling you what it is. And one day, this Obinze barracks we see today, one day we shall see it no more. Enough is enough of the abomination. Enough is enough of the menace going on in our land. Enough of it. Therefore, Biafra government are doing everything possible to remove Biafrans from that dead zone or country they call Nigeria. The government have formed Biafra Armed Forces, BLA, Biafra Marines. We also have Biafra Air Force, anti-aircraft. We have Biafra Police, and they are now fighting and defending Biafrans, and also defending our properties, at least in Biafra land. They are also removing all the traces of Nigeria government out of our land. Yes, so they are engaging Nigeria government economically in the battlefield. So it's not like before when they come to us to kill us and go scot-free. You come to our land to kill, you serious resistance. You come to kill us, we will defend ourselves. And we have right to defend ourselves because it's only a three. You will tell you didn't being a human being will do something. And Biafrans are humans. And we are doing something. Am I talking to myself? Can somebody hear me?
Yeah, but it's break.
Can hear you. Go ahead, sister.
Thank you, sir. So Biafrans are busy now defending and fighting on our behalf, and that's why you can see Musa crying, woof, woof, woof. And everybody is hanging together and they're trying to do the thing they will have done since. That even caused the first Biafra to take all the region together and do all the things we asked them to do before they even started fighting us. But all coming after that. Furthermore, Bridge have also 200 cabinet members. The government have global representatives. I mean, Biafra government have global representatives in Africa, America, Europe, Asia, UK, and Australia. The Bridge currently have all departments, including ministers. Ministers, we have so many ministers now. So we are a full, but just in exile, and de facto government in homeland. We have officially adopted 3 regions. We also have media spaces. Now we launch Biafra Radio 97.5 FM, and is being watched and heard in Africa and in Biafra land. With this, we are creating mass media awareness, also countering all forms of media wars and propagandas against Biafra. So it won't be like 1967, where it was only Okokendem that was talking, and the Yoruba media was busy and doing all the propagandas in the world. And that was how they killed and genocided and massacred Biafrans was side in that first Nigeria Biafra war. Ladies and gentlemen, the second Biafra Nigeria was on the silent. Even the Nigeria government don't want to tell their so-called citizens that what is going on in Biafra land. They are forcing all Biafrans and Christians to be converted to Islam, and we are saying no to Islamization, no to nation. And it's making them go wild. And all their plan was get me the time. You can never see the head. Because these Egyptians, soon we shall see them no more. So you can continue to have your meetings. You have meeting upon meeting. You have meeting with your governor. You have meeting with your senators. And I said, because their gathering is not of the Lord, you shall scatter. So you senators working against Biafra government, you working against Biafra government, you shall fall, and we shall see you no more. So go sit down. We have a government. Biafra has a government. So all your shenanigans are not working. You have to every monitor reverse and the can for us. And we're also sitting down home to tell them we are no loyal to government. That's what it is. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a full takeover of Fulani Mujahid acts over Biafra land, and we are saying no to that. They are forcing people to be converted to your church, and we decide not to be Islam because their packaging is deadly. That's where you see elite an old man. That's an abomination. That's why you will see a woman in their name of their Islam, and they will tell you cover your head from your head to toe, and only your body will be